I need y'all to hear me on this. If you're a gay man cosplaying as straight, they're not loving you. They're loving the man whose face you happen to be wearing. When they say, I love you, they're talking to him. They're not talking to you. Let's talk about it. I got on this very platform about 6 months ago, and I had a conversation about mask for mask and the epidemic that I feel has plagued the gay community. And it wasn't a conversation or a stance or an opinion to bash masculine men or men who have more masculine attributes than they may feminine. It wasn't to bash men who have a preference for masculine men. It was to unpack an ideology that's rooted in internal homophobia, that's rooted in wearing a mask, that's rooted in wearing a costume, that's rooted in showing up as a representative and not as your authentic self. The math around this is simple. For those men who have been taught that the only way they can be tolerated as a gay man, as an openly gay man, is by showing up as a straight man, what you have to understand is that you give 100% of yourself away to playing this character, and you get nothing in return because you're showing up as a version of yourself that may not necessarily feel authentic to who you are. And at some point, you have to challenge yourself in the ideology and ask yourself, who is this performance actually for? Is it for the people outside of me who are uncomfortable with my being, with the way that I am, with the way that I experience life? Is it for myself, who's fearful, who's afraid to truly step into who I am, so much so that I have to act as something that I'm not, that I have to dress as something that I'm not, that I have to talk as something that I don't feel inherently and accustomed to? Is it for the pew at the church? Is it for the locker room? Who is it for? And if it's for the church, there's three lies that we've been told. The first is that God made a mistake. God never made a mistake, ever. He is the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. He is omnipotent. Jehovah Jireh. He knows all things before they are things. You are not a mistake. And if you've been told that you're a mistake, and if that's contributed to you showing up inauthentically, and showing up in fear, and showing up in doubt, then I'm here to give you the permission slip to let you know that you are not a mistake. The second lie is that they would love you less. And for some people, unfortunately, that may be true. It may be true that people's love is conditional upon your behavior and your ordinance to what laws they set. But this is your life. And I don't want to discount and negate the fact that a lot of times it's a struggle because these are people who love you. These are your parents. These are your family members. These are your cousins, your siblings, people that you have lived life with. But I'm telling you, the cost of not being yourself is so far greater and so far costly than any love that you would lose from a person who never truly accepted you in the first place. The third lie, that it's just easier. We tell ourselves that if we just act this way, that it'll just make it easier for us. And the reality is that in the moment, sometimes it does. Sometimes we're able to pass. Sometimes we're able to go under the radar. Sometimes we're chosen over the more flamboyant or openly gay guy because we choose to be a little bit more overt with ours, because we choose to not disclose it. And we use that it's nobody's business as a scapegoat. And we measure the convenience of it based upon when it benefits us. While we sit idly by and allow our brothers to be crucified and criticized for who they truly are. And see, that's my problem, and that's why I wanted to break this down, is because in the cosplaying as a straight man, we don't show up. Not, I'm saying we because we're in this together. Because I've done it before. I'm guilty of it. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Because I'm like, why am I saying we? Well, I've done it. I got to take accountability about that. When I was doing that, I was allowing people to say negative things about the other gay boys in the room because I knew it would take the attention off of me. And that's just a hard, raw gut truth. It's fucked up. This is not a campaign for every man to be feminine. This is not a campaign for every man. I know y'all think this is a campaign and propaganda for every man to wear a purse and a wig and have acrylic nails and wear heels. And it's not that. It's not that. It's not that at all. That's ignorant. Nobody has an agenda to get men to be more like girls. For me, what the agenda is that you be your authentic self. And if your authentic self is a gay man that likes to sit around and watch sports and play the game and smoke cigars and do things that heterosexual men happen to do, then do that. But don't do it at the embarrassment of your brother. Don't sit around and criticize more feminine guys for who they are in an effort to appease the niggas around you or the people around you. Still be in community and in unity with those people that may not be like you. Because the reality is that whether we're masculine, whether we're feminine, whether we're androgynous, whether we fall, wherever we fall on the spectrum, we're all humans. And we all have the power to connect. And the last thing I want to hold y'all asses to the fire for, the women in the equation. It's not fair to them. She's been cast in a play that her ass didn't even audition for. And you know who I'm talking to. So if you're one of those men and you're out there and you're playing with that woman, and you doing all the things that you're doing, and you're not being honest and transparent with her, today that shit gotta stop, because it's not right. I'm here to tell you that the rules that were set up for this game are no longer going to serve you. And that anger, that fear, that rage, that bad temperament, that impatience, that nastiness, it seeps out of you It bursts through your pores at every opportunity that it gets because you're afraid and you're in denial about who you truly are. And I got to hold you as your brother, as your big brother, as your uncle, as your friend, as your cousin. I got to hold you accountable and let you know that I ain't got no problem with you being a masculine man. I ain't got no problem with you being a masculine gay man. I ain't got no problem with you being a feminine gay man. I ain't got no problem with you being a metrosexual gay man. I ain't got no problem with you being who you are, period. But if who you are is not true to who you know yourself to be, then that's where we got a problem. And that's where I see it the most. Where I see these overly masculine men trying to compensate for what they feel is a lack. You view your sexuality as a lack of. You view yourself as second rate. And so you try to overcompensate by dressing super boyish and by deepening your voice and trying to act like something you're not. And then when you get behind closed doors and you're with your more effeminate friends, you, girl, hey, you twerking, you doing all the things. That's unfair. That's unfair. It's unfair to the people that you call friends that you say you love. Because those are the very people you turn your nose up at when they approach you and try to holler at you. They're good enough to be your friend, but they're not good enough to stand beside you at your wedding. They're not good enough to be in a relationship with. And that's not right. We got to unpack it. We got to stop saying that it's just a preference, because it's not a preference. There's something rooted. It's something deeper. And we're not being honest about it. And I wanted to get on my platform today to let you know I don't have a problem with who you are or how you show up. That ain't my ammo. I'm from the country. I grew up with a whole bunch of niggas all the time, running barefoot, playing football. I'm that. I'm comfortable within myself, though. So I can move however I want to move. But I never do it at the expense of one of my gay brothers. I never do it at the expense of one of my gay friends. I've dated more effeminate guys. I've dated more masculine guys. I've dated guys in the middle. I don't personally have a preference. And if you do have a preference, that's your preference. I'm not judging you for that. But what I am saying is that it's not cool to make it seem as if it's disgusting in an effort to save face for people who you think you need acceptance from. Because at the end of the day, all we got is each other. You see, I got on this platform to let you know that we got to do better at being better to each other. It ain't about this surface level shit that we try to make it about. It's about understanding one another and holding each other accountable. That's why I said if you are a gay man cosplaying as a straight man, they don't love you. They love who they think you are. They love who you show them. And if you showed them the real you, I dare you to test it. If you showed them the real you, all of you, I guarantee you, the love would either stay the same or it would waver. But the people who wavered never truly meant to accept you anyway. And the people who stood beside you were always the people who were going to do it. They were always going to be there. I'm going to leave y'all with that. And next week, I got another episode. Boom, bam, bye.